Wyatt, hello. I just thought I'd chime in here. I saw the market sitting under 225. Just thought I'd jump in, see what was going on. I'm gonna hit the bed pretty soon here, but just checking it out. Hey, James. Yeah, just checking it out. A big little triple bottom here. Ah, very interesting. Zoom out more. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, Andy, yeah, no problem, man. I think I have just as much fun as you guys do. It's almost midnight over here, not quite evening. It's about 11:42. Last chance to buy Bitcoin below 3,300. Yeah, you think so? I think it's good for a bounce. I don't think it's the bottom though. I think we could bounce up again. I don't know if this is actually it. Yeah, no, it's not a correction. It's not a correction. I actually just posted a video. I just posted a video about Bitcoin 1200. So I don't want to make anyone paranoid or anything, but I lay out a case for Bitcoin 1200, and it's a fairly strong case in my opinion. Obviously, a lot can happen between now and then, but I lay out the case for it. So it's kind of a long video. It gets a little boring for like a minute or two at about minute 9 or so, but past that, before and after, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're not testing the lows, we're breaking those lows. Testing is up here, so this could be a shakeout. See what kind of action we have here on this minute. It looks like all the volume came in here and here. So this is a good bottoming bar, this little one here. There you go. That's a good bottoming bar. See that volume? And yeah, volume with little price action like that indicates a lot of buying right here. But someone has to be selling at the same time. So to see if the buyers overcome the sellers or the sellers overcome the buyers. So far, not looking too promising for the buyers. Not looking too promising. And Ethereum back under 225. 220 was the low earlier in the day. We'll just kind of have to see what happens. China just announced the report. What report? Oh, via bit. Yeah. Yeah, see guys, we were talking about this in terms of China causing this market. And the more selling we get, the more that my new video, like we heard about Bitcoin 3,000, we're getting there and quick, too fast for it to be a healthy correction. It just seems too fast. It just seems too fast. I would not be buying down here, guys. Ethereum is still holding over 220, so that's good. Just crashing. Yeah, looks like China. So China's just waking up now, or at least trading wise, they're just waking up now, and they're apparently not liking what's going on. That's true, quiet, but when? That's true, but when? Look, I'm not saying crypto's dead. I'm here. If I thought crypto didn't have a future, I wouldn't be talking to you guys. But at the same time, doesn't mean we can't have a massive bear market. And these moves are way too furious, way too fast. No pun intended. For anything other at this point, in my opinion, than it's just super weak. We're gonna, I mean, if we drop straight down from 3,800 to 3,000, that's ridiculous. I mean, that would be straight down. That's a 22% move in less than a day. Oh, 246 in China? Shows what I know. Sorry about that, guys. Well, all I know is it tends to move midnight my time. So it tends to move midnight my time. And we're kind of seeing that again. 11:45 and starting to go. Hey guys, I'm starting up my Twitter handle. I haven't actually tweeted anything yet, but I've made it. Someone took Real Crypto, so my handle's Real Crypto Trade. Someone mentioned that in the chat room last time I asked about them. Some guy has Real Crypto, and he's not using it since 2013, so I'm going to see if I can get it, but until then we're doing Real Crypto Trade. So if you guys want to start communicating, go ahead and link up with me here, and yeah, I'll send out little tweets from time to time. A little bit faster response than waiting for a live stream. So speaking of Twitter, go ahead and throw the live stream on Twitter. I don't have any followers yet, so that wouldn't be nothing like too good for me to do. 3156 Ethereum. Let's watch Ethereum. It looks like it. This is just not good action. You guys looking for a bottom? Just look elsewhere. I really don't want you to get hurt. What I really don't want you to do is sell at lows. So you guys are. This is what happens. You have a head and shoulders pattern. No one believes me. It cracks and you still don't believe me. And then we're going lower and you're looking for a bottom. And then we're going to end up down here and you're going to panic sell. What do I think is going to happen with Litecoin? I don't know. This thing is beyond support at this point. I didn't even think it would get down here. I mean, at one point in time, I don't even know if this made it public, but I had a measured move drawn from this breakdown to this level, and you know it shows a move down to here, and I thought that was kind of a very extreme low, but you know that just goes to show you that opinions mean nothing, and the charts do what the charts do. I thought this was an extreme low. It looks like that was an incorrect assumption on my part, but you know the charts do what the charts do, man. They do what they do. I mean, past here you have some support here at the 37 level. I mean, you could pick any one of these lows if you wanted to, but this, you know, I guess actually this 35 looks to be pretty good, right? We're tested. Let's do a horizontal ray here. There you go. You guys see that? So it was resistance, 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 broke through. So this becomes support now. Supported, 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 supported. So I think 37 could be an ultimate target for a lot of yeah, there's some nice support right here. I don't know. I say 37. You say it's at 44. What do you think? I mean, it's literally falling as we speak. So, yeah, like literally it's falling as we speak. So you tell me, do you want to buy it as it's falling? Come on. Make it look normal. Yeah, so here's Litecoin. Again, we see the same two volume pops as we do in Bitcoin. And I'm assuming if we go to Ethereum, we'll see something similar. See what happens there. A little pop. There's a big likelihood of a bounce and then further loss. There's a huge likelihood of that. I actually thought we would have gotten that earlier in the day when I finished my live stream about 12 hours ago. I thought we'd bounce, and we really didn't bounce. We just consolidated and just kind of, I mean, this isn't a bounce. If you remember, I was poking at Ethereum, and I was looking at a bounce into this trend line. This is a very steep. That's a horizontal ray again. The second time I've done that. I was anticipating a bounce into this very steep trend line. That's a very steep trend line. That is like very close support. Trend lines of this nature get broken quite frequently. They're just very steep. The fact that it's so far below this trend line and it's not even trying to test it is very weak. So, I mean, what's likely to happen at this point, in my opinion, is that we get this move down here. We get this move down here, maybe into this 175 area. That's what this. If this is a measured move, that's what that implies. But I mean, it puts us right down here in this target we've been looking at, everybody. So that being said, this doesn't have to be the end of the road. Just so you know, this doesn't have to be the end of the road. We could end it here at 128 down to this bottom. We could end it down here at 100. I don't have any cases for that yet. There's no roadmap down. I mean, this is a roadmap. It's a double bottom. It's pretty standard. We have a double top. That's kind of a standard top. Now we have a possible double bottom coming into play. But we definitely don't go straight from 223 down to this bottom. It's at least going to happen in another week or so. I mean, come on, it can't. If it goes straight down like that, yeah, that's just not really possible. So maybe we get here, we bounce up, then we roll over again, shake out everybody, and then we continue higher. I have no idea. I don't know what that bounce is going to look like. What I hold after it's over, I'll have to see what the charts look like at that time. I mean, you could see. So obviously, Bitcoin. Guys, go watch my Bitcoin 1200 video. That may put some things in perspective. I'm not saying it's. I kind of think it's going to get to 1200, but it's going to take a little while to get there. I'm kind of like 40% certain that's going to happen in my mind. If we continue to see bearish action like this, I'm going to raise that percentage to like 50-50, and then it's going to. I mean, the lower we go, the higher percentage that is. No, ETH does not look promising. I mean, afterwards, yes, afterwards, ETH is a leading coin. It will be promising when it bottoms. So all you guys trying to pick a bottom, that's very dangerous. So buy it if it's under 200. Yeah, I would say anything under 200 in Ethereum is pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. There's some concerns I have regarding. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that because it's not even a fully formed thought yet. But like I said, it's possible we test this double bottom. I mean, if this is really accelerated selling, I mean, we saw it here. We saw some really accelerated selling at this particular point. As someone with $0 in the game, this isn't confidence inspiring for the future. So James, let me talk to you a little bit about that. Let me talk to you a little bit about confidence. At this point in time, if you have $0 in the game, you should be extremely confident. Markets have a tendencies, if you're new to them, I don't know if you're new to them, but just for anyone listening, if you're new to markets, they have a general tendency to fuck with your head. That's kind of their default. It really just messes with your head. Mass market psychology is very counterintuitive, and yeah, it can really lead you astray. I mean, it tops and it bottoms, and you can be just as confused anywhere in between. And this goes with the stock market, this goes with cryptocurrencies, forex, this goes with commodities. If you're trading oil or gas or anything, I mean, it can mess with your head. What I mean by when I say you should be very confident is because if you don't have any skin in this game, you can just sit here and watch. Like I don't have any skin in this game. I sold up here. I mean, I sold up here. I have no skin in the game, and I'm extremely confident. I'm waiting for some kind of signal so I can get in, because cryptocurrencies are the future, and at some point in time, I mean, if you play your cards right, this stuff can make you retire. $218 on, I've got 220 on Bitfinex, but either way, yeah, that's pretty crazy. You know, James, this is exactly why you should be watching this. You should watch this. You should sear this into your memory, because this is what you do not want to happen. John, yeah, in my opinion, for sure. I've talked about this in several videos ago, actually, for several videos. There were a few videos I actually talked about the catalyst. And China is the catalyst. There's no doubt about that. But it becomes a momentum play. It becomes a snowball. So you've got a lot of selling up here that begets more selling, that begets more selling, and then no one has the confidence to buy. You know, that's exactly one of the reasons that the 1929 crash happened in the stock market, is because nobody would take the other side of the trade. Nobody would buy. And that's why everything literally crashed to next to nothing. So I mean, this is a different market. It's a worldwide global mechanism. We're not going to have that kind of a free fall, but you know, you can start to see the lack of buying. Dickens, when you say how much, can you explain a little better? There's a 10-second lag in the chat, and I didn't see your comment right away, so I don't know exactly what you're referring to. If Bitcoin goes under 3,000, I should keep it on live video. That'd be fun to watch, right? But man, it's going too. Look at this. This is not healthy action, fellas. Not healthy action. I mean, anytime you're this far away from a support line, I mean, this is ridiculous. Although I will say this, if this thing, so like I said, in my mind, this thing could come out and maybe measured move or something, and maybe we end up down here, but that's a hell of a bounce. I mean, we're going to get a bounce at some point here. I just haven't seen it. I haven't. We were talking about it up here yesterday. We talked about it in here today, and I just kept saying, I'm like, I just don't see any buying here. I mean, there's no buying here. Yeah, there's just no buying here. So we have this prior high here at 3,000. That is the most, well actually that's where I predicted it was going to go anyways on my video. Hate to say prediction, by the way. You know, to be honest with you, this is a win even if it stops right here and reverses, because, you know, we talked about this. We talked about this since up here at 4,200, and even before then we talked about, I was talking about more of Ethereum than Bitcoin. But even up here, you know, this 4,600 level, when this popped back after this top, and then when it cracked here at 4,300, we were really on top of everything. So you guys that have been in the chat, that have been holding through all this, I hope it bounces for us and we have a good place to get out. I'm hoping for that. It doesn't seem extraordinarily likely at this point, but I just hope this isn't a very expensive lesson for people. Is the ban temporary in China? Not really. I think long term it's temporary, but they didn't say it was a temporary ban. Ethereum hanging out at hanging out above 220. Not too bad. Yeah, guys, we're due a bounce at some point. I thought we would have gotten it. Well, I mean, earlier today would have been a great place for a bounce, and then we could continue selling off. If we get a panic sell, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, James, that's a good question. So if we look at Bitcoin's history, well, this is Ethereum. Let's go to Bitcoin. So, excuse me, guys. It's midnight and I'm kind of tired. There's two kinds of markets. Well, technically, there's three kinds of markets. There's uptrends like this. There's uptrends. There's choppy markets like this. And there's downtrends like this. So, in a bull trend, an uptrend like this, you should consider buying pullbacks. You should consider that they do V up quite often. Like even this one V'd up. This one V'd up quite significantly. This one did as well, even though we got into choppy market territory. All these V bottoms moved, but the overall cycle here is bullish, right? The overall cycle here is up. It's starting to look more and more like we've entered a down cycle. So pretty much everything that is high needs to be sold. Yeah, it's tough when this price just sits here. The little shrooms. Interesting. Yeah, if you guys, I just popped out my my new video, the Bitcoin 1200. Where's it at? Yeah, Bitcoin 1200. Bam. So go ahead and check that video out when you get a minute. That's a pretty fun exercise and some chart reading. Oh, I thought that was bouncing. It's not bouncing. Oh, I thought we'd get to see a crash here, guys. I guess in Bitcoin we're definitely seeing some weakness, not necessarily a crash. Here's some decent buying right here. Nothing, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Nothing great though either. Yeah, so if you notice up there's a nice line at $4,000. Nice line at $4,000 that we could definitely bounce into at some point in time. Which would be really nice because like say you bought in here, that's like a 30% increase just into that bounce. So I don't know if this is the bar that bottoms us out or if it's overnight or exactly when it is, but yes, I don't trade the news. I stay updated on the news, but I don't trade based on news. You can't. You can't trade based on news. You have to be informed, but you have to stay objective. So if you go back and look at Apple and a lot of the worldwide developer conferences and their product launches, you know, Apple tends to sell on those events. You would think those would be events that are bullish, that lead the price forward, but the professionals actually already have their positions beforehand. They sell into the euphoria of the public buying Apple. That's kind of generally the psychology behind those types of things. Um, Not even the sentiment on the market trends because of news. I let the market show me the market trends. I don't let the news show me the market trends. The market shows you sentiment. The market will show you the sentiment. That's why you don't need to read the news. I mean, it's kind of difficult trying to infer what the public is going to do with their money regarding news, and then you having to infer how you're going to trade their inference on that news. Just look at the chart. Ethereum sitting at 220. Are we gonna crack? Are we gonna crack? Come on. Let's do it. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Tiny, tiny little shrooms. It's gonna crack or is this gonna bottom again? We're sitting right at 220. These are the lows right here. Right here, folks. Step on up, step on up. Take your positions. Bear or bull. Bear or bull. Oh. It's kind of fun to watch. At the same time I get kind of bored. So like last night I was bored. I took a couple small positions, and I'm pretty sure I'm really deep underwater with them at this point. Just because I was bored. Ooh, except for Cloak Coin, what the hell? Well, I guess I'm up in Cloak Coin. This is one of the ones I got into. I also got into P-Toy, but that got its butt handed to it today. Not too bad. But Cloak Coin, man, look at you, buddy. Keep going, make me all those losses back. I don't know if I got in Trigger or not, but it's been decimated. I think I got into Trigger. I wasn't okay. I made good money in okay. Haven't traded it since I sold it. It's fallen way back. Yeah, 180,000 in 30 seconds. Nice. How did I get into crypto? Um, so I don't know if it's a funny story, but it's a story. So I actually heard about crypto back in 2013. Let's go look at that. So I've been in the stock market since 1998. Kind of actively trading for better part of 15 years. I've traded before then, but I wouldn't call it super active. I got in Bitcoin back in 2013 off of a chart pattern that I know and love. And see if I can actually find out exactly where I got in. Right there. No, that wasn't 200, not 400. Oh, you don't go back that far? Well, screw you then. Come on, guys. Sorry, you asked. I just want to show you the charts. Charts are fun. Where's... No, I got in at $225. They don't even go back that far anymore. Oh well. Anyway, so I got in at $225 trading off a pattern similar to this, right at about this level, and I sold through. There was a euphoric rise. No, never did. I didn't have enough schooling, nor did I even really know enough to do that. I mean, way back then, no, I did not. I find very few people that trade at have traded at a desk. Yeah, still doesn't go back that far. Anyway, yeah, so I traded it in 2013. Made some pretty good money, and then the whole thing crashed and collapsed in on itself. So that was pretty fun. And then, oh, it's right here. What the hell? 225. That's right where I got in. Right here. I got in like 225 was my buy. So it was like right there. I got in at 225, and actually sold like up here-ish. I don't know if I can't remember if I sold near this top or not. If I go to my Coinbase account, it says because I bought it through Coinbase at the time, the order is still on there. It said 225 and like 1100. That doesn't seem right though, to be honest with you. I don't think it ended up selling that high. So that's how I initially got involved with Bitcoin. I heard about it. I saw this chart pattern, and I'm like, because previously this thing ran from like, nothing up to, was it $284? So I saw this chart pattern, and I just jumped on it, and I was like almost instantly profitable, and considerably profitable. And then yeah, I just sold the first euphoric rise I've ever been involved in. I wasn't really trading during 1999. I was an observer. But this was such a crazy rise, and I remember that trying to put orders in on Coinbase was like pulling teeth. The thing moved so fast. I think you had to do limit orders back then. So I was trying to put limit orders in, and the thing was just moving, and I had to have these really wide spreads of like $50, and I just had it was just nightmarish trying to sell the damn thing. So it finally sold. I bought 2 Bitcoin at like 250. I made like 500, 600, 700 bucks, something like that. And then I watched all this happen, and I'm like, you know what? I need to remember Bitcoin again, because it's gonna do that again. It's gonna do that again. And broke 220. Oh yeah, right there, buddy. Yeah, if you guys don't like my rambling, just tell me to shut up. But he asked. Anyway, so I said to myself, okay, don't forget this because it's gonna happen again. Well, I forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. Didn't even think about it. Missed this entire run up. And then a buddy of mine is on YouTube as well. His name is Node Investor. I saw him at a local stock trading meetup, and we got chatting about what we're doing. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm trading in cryptocurrencies and stuff." I'm like, "Really?" And I've been thinking about getting in for a little bit, but didn't have my mind made up. And when I saw what he was doing, I'm like, damn it, I'm stupid. I should have been in this a long time ago. I had my trade in 2013. Anyway, I watched Bitcoin break out over here. I knew about the hard fork in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, but I did not have a position, so I missed out on the Bitcoin Cash money, which I was kind of pissed about. And then I got into Ethereum. I decided to get into Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. Don't have a great reason why. My first initial position was on this breakout over here at about 316 is where I got in, right there. I took another position at 340, and I ended up selling it all kind of over here. Had a little bit of a gain. It's like literally about $100 on a pretty big position. But yeah, and then I started doing videos. Actually, kind of right when I got into the trading game, I started doing videos because No does good videos, and him and I we traded together for a few years. We had a stock trading club we did together, and if he's just as good as I am, I'm just as good as he is, and I'm like, you know what, I could add my voice to the conversation, and there you go. Long story long, there you go. Ethereum. Yeah, not a lot of selling volume here. This may not crack. When do I think Bitcoin will bottom out? I'm gonna go with let's do September 21st at about 1:32 p.m. my time. Sweet YouTube money then. Yeah, I think my total earnings are like $14 so far. Be honest with you, I'm kind of doing it. I'm just kind of wondering how this thing works. No, actually, I was just talking today, and I'm in the middle of building. It's literally Eric, September 30th. You remember my previous? I think it was a stream we were talking. Was it you, or were we talking with someone else regarding that big W pattern in Ethereum? I don't know, buddy. That's really hard to tell. I can't tell where it's going to go. It's hard. You guys asked me to forecast, and I do my best to give you good information. I'm not going to give you crap information just to put a number out there. This is the implied target of the head and shoulders. That being said, moves often get faded more to the downside, especially during extreme situations, and we appear to be in an extreme situation. So in all likelihood, at some point, we'll get down to these lows. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's just kind of how I feel about it. There's going to be a lot of buying pressure down here at these lows, and I think see this large volume here. There's big positions that have been taken, and they're more than likely long-term holders or investors in Ethereum, blockchain users. So there may be some large corporations that will prop up Ethereum in the same way that you would try to prop up gas prices. Because think about it, Ethereum is kind of like oil. It's a utility coin. This isn't like a stock. The stock can go from, like, you look at, I think I posted this somewhere, but you look at Herbalife, right? You look at Herbalife. They're actually a publicly traded company, if you didn't know that, symbol HLF. And that company went through some big crazy swings. They were sued by the government. They had all kinds of stuff happening. Hey, Frederick, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I'm up a little late. So they were sued by the government, and their stock was going up and down. But their stock doesn't affect their company. Well, Ether actually affects the Ethereum blockchain. So in that way, it's kind of like oil. You have to have Ether to use the blockchain. So it's going to be interesting dynamic to see how that plays out. Probably be like any commodity. I would kind of treat Ethereum like a commodity. It's going to be supported at certain levels, and if it gets too expensive, then the blockchain is going to not be as well used, and then it'll tank the price. It'll have a yin and a yang effect. That's cool, Frederick. I'm actually on longer than I thought I was going to be anyways. I didn't anticipate being on this long. Having fun chatting. Just having fun chatting. Yeah, so talking about something I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing a website, a very good website. It won't be a blog. It'll have some bloggish components, but it's pretty much going to be what you guys are going to want to see. Opinion about the scaling issues for the future in terms about what I was referring to, or about you mean Ethereum scaling issues? So Ethereum scaling issues, they're, from my understanding, they're having two rollouts this month to help with that. And going forward, they'll figure it out in one way or another. They'll figure it out. What that has to do for the coin pricing, it's a little hard to say. I do not have an entry price for Bitcoin. Bitcoin should tell you its entry price. You shouldn't have to guess it. So dipping down to the 15-minute chart here, we've been talking about we're due a bounce of some kind. Frederick, in terms of the Bitcoin proof of work versus proof of stake type of a thing, I don't think Bitcoin is changing their protocol. Their whole thing is based on that proof of work. It's basically, it's like a first generation blockchain, obviously. So I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Yeah, I won't be worried about proof of stake versus proof of work for Bitcoin, considering that, it's 21 million, 16.5 has been mined already. So, and 21 million is going to come out till 2140. You've got another 120 years before Bitcoin is going to be finally mined out. But there's enough circulation in place that it can do its business. It can do its business. And for that mining to be profitable, for the blockchain to even exist, the price has to rise pretty much in tandem with the difficulty of the blockchain, right? So it's going to be interesting going forward to see how that's going to play out. We kind of see this. We kind of see this a little bit with Ethereum Classic and Bitcoin Classic and Bitcoin Cash. See, I'm starting to go crazy. Costs $1,000 to mine a Bitcoin. Yeah, so Mohit actually just put a video out about Bitcoin 1200. Frederick, you can check that out too. Let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, Bitcoin 1200. There's a case for that in the charts. There's a case for that in the charts. So I kind of threw that out there in the world for everyone to digest. I think it's going to be a fun conversation when we start getting some comments on it overnight and into tomorrow. It'd be fun. Fun conversation. Oh, you saw it? What did you think? Yeah, Node's good. He's good. Yeah, Eric, you mentioned Litecoin earlier. Sorry about that. So Litecoin is in no man's land right now. It's broken completely through its channel. It's broken completely through this channel. I drew a trend line here earlier at $37. There's some definite support here at 37. I didn't think it would get this low though. But you know what I say about opinions? Don't listen. Hey Frederick, for a non-active guy in chat, you're a pretty active guy in chat. Also, Frederick, those of you just joining, actually, I just started a Twitter handle pretty recently as well. If you guys want to, it's at Real Crypto Trade. This guy already had Real Crypto, but I'm going to try to get it from him. He hasn't tweeted since 2013, so I'm hoping I can get that out of him so we can all keep in touch. But yeah, at Real Crypto Trade is my handle, and yeah, so spread the word, follow me, and we'll get some cool things going here. Hey, there you go. Shapagat. Shapagat? Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. I'm assuming you saw me in the chat here. Soulmate, 3:25 a.m., buddy. You're more hardcore than I am. Hey, Anton, how you doing, buddy? So why are you saying October 1st? Is that because of the Ethereum fork? Yeah, so look like we were going to sell off and been on here about 45 minutes now. We've just been churning down here. I mean, just been churning. You know what I'm going to pull up? Let's pull up the GDAX. I kind of like how they have their order book over here. Kind of really shows what's happening. We got 13 Bitcoin, 6 Bitcoin just sitting here. 1 cent on a $4,000 or well now $3,000 asset. That's pretty crazy. Oh, very nice, Anton. I did not know that. Frederick, I may be gone by then too, buddy. If I'll see you later if I am. But yeah, lots of movement here. Yeah, I like to watch this right here. This is the sweet spot for me. Pretty easy to ascertain what's happening when you see stuff like this. Yeah, Frederick, subscribe, buddy. I'm probably gonna start working on it tomorrow. I just got the handle up and going, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's just a really good way because I can't be live streaming constantly, so I can go ahead and keep that a little more up to date on the phone. So where's my GDAX? Where's my GDAX? There it is. Praveen, I am new to crypto world. Well, buddy, Praveen, I say sit down, get some popcorn or whatever your snack of choice is, and enjoy the show for a while. I don't mean me, I mean cryptocurrencies. Thank you, Praveen. Do I see Ripple exploding by the Swell conference? Trying to keep things very topic-wise. Yeah, that's pretty good. Thanks for keeping it very topic-wise. You know, I'm pretty tired. 12:30. I may be going out here pretty soon, but I'm not invested really in anything at this moment in time. So Ripple is also sitting in this low-level consolidation area. I'm not going to buy anything down here. Anytime you see anything, come on, I want to see the volume, guys. Let's see the volume. Anytime you see a declining volume like this, it indicates that the trend is intact. Okay, so this declining volume is not a good factor right here. Looks like it could be headed lower down towards these lows in the 15 level. So yeah, probably not a lot of action in Ripple, at least if you're trading it. Ripple will be one of those coins that moves on news. So yeah, you know what? You can be a believer in XRP and lose money in it. That's a thing, by the way. So I'm just putting that out there because this is kind of a trading. It's kind of a trading channel. I do believe in having a long-term core position. I got in a little too late in the cycle to have that. I sold my core position. So as of right now, I'm cash. Like if I was in Ripple from like 10 cents, like all the way down here, I probably wouldn't be too worried about it. You have to keep things in perspective, especially when trading. It's actually imperative to keep things in perspective, which is why I posted that $1,200 Bitcoin video. Yeah, if I was in here from 10 cents, I'm not really super worried. I mean, because I've got a nice cushion. But if you're in anywhere up here, then obviously you're worried because you're underwater. Let's see what Cloak Coin's doing. That thing's still going up? Down a little bit. Frederick, if you're still there, buddy, Cloak Coin, I'm sure you saw that. Oh, NEM. NEM was interesting. Earlier today, NEM had this huge pop. Look at this pop on NEM. It came right back into the top of this, area. I thought that was a very strong move on NEM's part. A very strong move on NEM's part. So as we see, this thing's been consolidating back here since May. Pretty much missed all the fun of the summer. So NEM may be something to watch during the next leg up. Definitely something good to watch. You want to look for things that buck market trends. You want to look for things that are doing doing their own thing, because that pretty much means that there's not a lot of selling in them. A lot of holders, not a lot of selling. Lisk had a big swing to the downside today. Well, yesterday, I guess, at this point in time. This huge swing to the downside after staying in this large consolidation for so long. But it's starting to form out this triangle. We can probably now, and for a new trend line, we can redraw this, as we are able to do, and probably redraw this as well. Although if you want to keep these tightly correlated, maybe you get something like that in Lisk. And when Lisk breaks out from this, it's going to be huge. Alright guys, I'm actually fading. My voice is going on me. I'm rambling. I'm going to get out of here. The 10-second lag, so I'll go ahead and give you guys a second. Did my stream just cut out on me? Hello? Did I go away, guys? Alright guys, if you didn't hear me, I think the stream stopped for a second. Sorry about that, but I'm gonna call it a night here. It's been about an hour. Looked like we were gonna crack to the downside. Bitcoin got a little frothy, popped down a little bit, but Ethereum not quite so much. Still holding a little bit stronger than Bitcoin at this point in time. So yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna call it an evening. If you guys haven't subscribed, please do. For those of you that are subscribers, thanks for joining me and watch me ramble on YouTube. So I'm gonna call it evening, guys. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Be careful with your buys. Look for buying pressure if you want to buy for a pop or something like that. There you go. Eric from Korea. All right, buddy. Have a good night. Yep. See you next time. I'll be streaming tomorrow at noon Arizona time. I'll put an event out now for that. All right, guys. Have a good night.